folks, we're back. We're back in the saddle. We're back in the studio. We're back with Bobbie. It's me. It's Wes. It's Bobbie. We're talking Bachelorette. We're talking Final Four. We're talking hometowns. Bobbie,
hey.
One word. One word for the episode. Give it to me.
Emotional.
That's a good one.
Okay, Wes?
I don't know.
Mine would be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There's
Okay,
a lot
that's
of
a good one
time
too.
spent where I was very uncomfortable.
I need more than one word, but my skin crawled off my body for most of the
Skin crawling. Maybe that's a compound word.
Yeah, we'll allow it.
Yeah, I'll count it. Maybe
Okay.
a hyphen or something.
It was tough to watch at times. Depending on whose date we were on, it was tough to watch.
So with the parents and with the families, it really sinks in like these are real people.
Mm-hmm.
And it fucks me up because this is such a fucked up concept for a show when you really zoom out and break it down.
This woman over 4 days, I assume, right? This woman over 4 days is meeting 4 different sets of parents and families. And she has to basically tell them all the same thing. Like, I feel strongly about your son.
Yes.
Like, it's so...
You have to lie in this instance, right? Like, you can't say, no, I'm not getting there. Right?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards sending him home.
Look, Rodney's definitely in 4th place right now. He's a great guy, though, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was so excited from the start. I was excited to see how you guys reacted to hometowns because it's just always so hard to watch with people's families because these people are getting thrown into being on reality TV. So I'm very excited to see what your thoughts are date by date.
Something about the fact that they were all in the same room and going into that same building over and over again was like
weird.
Gross
all four of the dates ended with them making out on the same bench.
Mm-hmm.
They all went to the same bench. It's like, move the camera, go somewhere
else. It was so formulaic.
Spray that bench down.
Felt gross. Felt gross.
Disgusting. It was
like they were herding cattle.
The same, they used the same Airbnb to meet. It was
didn't like it.
Gross. Yeah. So
let's jump right in.
Let's get into it. We start before we get too far into the dates. She's talking to Tayshia, one of the hosts, and we both thought it was kind of weird that she was obviously at the time. I don't know where they're at, but when they're recording, she's already gone through her season, and now we know that they're no longer together. She's asking like advice from this girl from a previous season, and we already know her relationships failed.
They were still together at this point.
Right. Yeah, of course.
But you got to think they're probably not in the best of places at that time.
To give advice. Yeah.
But she's been through it, I guess. I mean, I understand why that they're doing it, but it's just like us, the audience, knowing that it's already failed. It's like kind of a yikes.
Yeah. Okay.
So we don't really have a lot of time to do anything else other than just get right into the dates.
Exactly.
The whole,
nothing else happened.
Each one, no, I'm saying like the show just jumps right into it.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
They're about 25, 30 minutes a piece. And it starts with Brandon. Brandon's mom, his dad, and his brother delayed going to the Navy.
I believe the Navy.
So I'm going to call his bluff. I don't think that's possible. I think that he just said, oh, I'm not going. It's not like he had like an officer that he was talking to. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to go next Monday because I have to go see my brother. There's no way.
I don't know how that works.
Did you just wait to enlist?
Either way.
Yeah.
That's what they claimed.
That's what they said.
I don't know how that works.
I don't have any friends or family that have ever been in the military, so I really know nothing about the process of the military.
You have no control over the timeline after you enlist. Like,
if they tell you to go, you're just gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I thought that his parents were very nice. His brother was like, his dad was like exactly like him. I felt like his voice, everything was exactly like him. And they're all corny. All of them. Mm-hmm. All 4 of them.
That one, I don't know if it was because it was the first one or what the deal was. His was the worst. It was so tough to watch.
We cannot forget. Yeah, we cannot forget to talk about the fact that he took her skating and he was I could have done a better job. Like, was that a bit?
Are you joking, dude?
Dude, I used to do this every day.
It doesn't look
I never
like it.
improved in any of those days.
If you're gonna take her somewhere to impress her and show off, dude, you gotta
It
do
was
better than that.
so bad. Like
I can basically push and ride the thing flat. That's about all I got.
it's not like he was even like just nervous at first and then they showed him getting better. He was bad the whole time.
Mhm.
So I thought that was super weird
At least
date.
they both made fun of it. That was,
Yeah.
I mean, at least they had to call it out because it was awful.
And so the date ends with I almost just called her Tasia. The date ends with Michelle saying that she's falling for him. I about came out of my chair. I was so upset about that.
I think she said, "It's clear after today that I'm falling for you." Direct quote I wrote down at the very end. You don't. What's your problem with Brandon? What's your problem? Why are you falling out of your chair?
Because he's like, she's out of his league. I don't know. I just feel like he's so high school. Like he's the
Yes.
guy that like you finally give a
guy.
chance to, and then he's like doing everything possible.
After that date, there were some thoughts that
Look,
he could win.
I really do think there's
obviously,
there's a more than 0% chance that he wins. Do I think he's the third best candidate for me personally? Yes.
I agree.
We've said this the whole time. We're going to just keep beating this dead horse every episode. I don't get it, but she likes him.
I know.
She does.
So when she said that, I was shocked. It's the only person she said that to this episode.
Are you really?
I thought she said that to Nate too.
She said it to Nate.
Not this episode. She said it a few episodes ago, I thought.
No, they're like after they go paddleboarding, they're like laying on the bank, and she says it.
I thought she did too.
Oh, okay. Maybe I missed it. Ryan was talking a lot.
Nate got it too.
Okay, good.
You're good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So I feel like there wasn't a whole lot else from Brandon's date. I felt like it was pretty run of the mill.
No, they really hyped it up like Brandon's brother was really going to put her through the ringer. And then he's just like, so how do you feel? And she's like, da-da-da. He's like, okay.
Yeah. Like, he tried to be like hardo at first, like challenging her and stuff. It's like, she just answered the questions. He's like, okay.
Yeah, he just melted.
Yeah, it was a little silly.
There was really, really cringy moments between between his dad and her, like talking about fishing and basketball. That seemed real forced. It was tough.
They'll block your shot, and then your dad will go fish and drink some beers.
It was bad. It was tough.
Yeah. His dad is just super corny.
Yes, just like him.
Yeah, I agree.
Give off the old block.
There wasn't much else that I wrote down for him because I was just like, I don't know. She was saying she was having fun. It didn't seem like she was having fun on the skating portion, and she kept saying she was having fun. I was like, it's just silly. Let's move on, Michelle. Come on.
Yeah. I don't have much else written down either. Some weird anything with his mom. I can't even picture his mom. It was the first one, so I knew this would happen.
A redheaded lady. She had this. They have the same face, him and her.
Yeah.
The same nose.
I can't picture.
Very small
red hair,
face.
Kind of. I don't know.
Okay, pretty forgettable overall. The date and the whole hometown deal with Brandon.
Then we move into Then we move into Rodney. And I thought that it was so cute that he themed his date around apples because I felt like that was a cute little full circle moment. That did complete his time on The Bachelorette. So it was a nice little full circle.
A really nice arc for our guy, Rodney.
Right.
The apple arc.
I don't know how you guys felt, but I was like, this sold me on Rodney. Like, I was like, Rodney could win this whole thing. After his date, I was like, I love him so much.
We both were from the very beginning. They flip over to Rodney to his date or his hometown portion, and it's Michelle as they're like walking up to each other. It's her talking to the camera, and she says, "Your partner needs to be your best friend, and Rodney could be that for me." And we were both just looked at each other like, he's so dead. It's just such a friend.
She said it right there, right out front,
right off the bat.
But she kept telling us like, "Oh, my parents were best friends," so like that's what kind of made me think like maybe that he had a shot.
This
Yeah.
episode, I feel like I noticed. I can just tell the look on her face.
Yeah, it's just
when
such
she's
a
with
frame.
Nate or when she's with Joe compared to the other two. It's like completely different.
She is like immersed in Nate and Joe. I cannot wait to get into them. And I think it was really strategically placed that they were the, last two. But I will say, like, so we were all talking at the little watch party that we did tonight, and it just seems like realistically, if Michelle and Rodney were to meet in a bar or wherever, it seems like they would be the most realistic long term, I think.
They would vibe. I think they would vibe.
Like-
Yeah. I think
Seeing
she
them in the
obviously likes all
wild.
these guys that are left.
I know, it just like seems like they're a very normal couple. So it just made me so sad. Like, oh, in another alternate universe timeline, they would be
Mhm.
together and they just seem so genuine together. But his parents were, highly skeptical but very sweet. And again, it was just kind of like we all knew. I feel like everyone knew it was going to be Rodney the whole episode. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah. So his whole thing, it was just very nondescript. There was nothing really of note that happened. They didn't really hit on any key moments or really try to drive home any points. So I feel like I could just kind of see the writing on the wall that,
Yeah.
and we kind of knew even before the episode started that he was probably the odd man out.
I thought it was, you could tell, I don't know, like obviously his mom hasn't watched the season up to that point, but it was like she knew too. It was like
I know.
she was like already sad that like he was gonna get his heart broken. She was like crying during it.
And that made me sad too, because it was
His mom
like,
was nice. His mom was nice.
and I felt like she was just really sweet. Like she was real about it all. And, but yeah, I don't know how she knew, but it's sad that she maybe didn't have the confidence that her son was going to win, even without meeting the other guys,
Yeah. Yeah. Rodney said she's worth the risk, Mom.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That's an ouchie.
He did look a little slim this episode too. I hate to comment on his weight. I think that's kind of something that we shouldn't do,
Dude.
but he did look great. He
Rodney's-
looked great.
Rodney's ass. I was going after our guy Rodney.
Poor
It's
Rodney.
good. He's looking
I wish I
svelte.
could give him a hug.
He's
my
gonna
poor
find
baby.
love.
Yeah.
I believe in him.
I believe in him too.
He's a
especially
pure
after-
soul.
He had a good season.
He's got a good heart. Hopefully, he doesn't find it on a reality show.
Yeah,
Hopefully, he
for
just
God's
finds
sake,
an actual
please.
woman in real life that he likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to follow
Um,
him on Instagram.
There wasn't any. So up until this point, it just been mom and dad, right, or mom and stepdad so far. Or any other? Oh, I guess his brother.
His brother.
Brandon's brother was in there.
Hmm.
Okay. Anything else on Rodney's meet the?
I don't
meet
think
parents?
so. Unfortunately, I don't think so.
Yeah, I wrote down I feel bad for all the moms because they're just like, baby, what are you doing? What are you doing on this show?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, but they can't say that.
Especially Rodney. She was just like, this isn't gonna go well, Rod.
We
I
didn't
know.
get. It seems like there's usually on the hometowns one of the parents is like, "Fuck this! Stop doing this. This is a
Yeah.
terrible idea." We didn't get any of that.
At least his mom and dad were like, aren't you concerned that these feelings are not strong enough on this show after like such a short period of time?
And that, I mean, she was spitting facts, right?
Yeah, it's like what we're all thinking. What are you doing?
Like, and I feel like we'll kind of get into this a little bit more when we were talking about Nate. And I had some notes about like it later in the episodes. But I just think like, I don't understand why they put such an emphasis on the engagement. Like, why not, if you just know that you want to be with someone, why can't they end it at that and it still be like a
It's a lot of
grand
pressure.
finale?
I don't understand that either.
Like,
'Cause they're
I don't,
sick fucks.
Yeah, they want the ring. They
know.
want the
drama.
It
Yeah,
But yeah.
they're trying to ruin these people's
makes no
lives.
sense.
It makes me sad that it's like that's the end all be all when like I mean I wouldn't have been ready to marry Tommy after 6 weeks. You know?
Pretty normal.
Some people just don't want to get married. Some people just want to be together forever and not get
Would
married.
that if they were like, hey, we get that committing to an engagement is like a huge deal, and after a short period of time, it really doesn't make any sense. If they were like, just pick a winner and just go be with them and live your life, and if you want to get married, do it. Would that change? That wouldn't change the show. Would that like hurt the ratings? I don't understand why they don't do that.
No, I don't think it would change the show at all.
I feel like it puts such a big pressure on the whole deal. I don't understand it.
I know.
Well, it also makes people like us be like, well, this is so fake. Like, you're never going to propose to someone after
So
6
dumb.
weeks. Like, that's just so unrealistic.
To act like that's
Not
the big
unless you're in the
prize.
military.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Am
Yeah,
I
I don't
wrong?
know.
That's facts.
It just seems like it's
Brandon's
a-
little brother, he's going to be getting hitched.
Yeah, he'll be married before Brandon, no doubt.
Mhm. Yeah.
Get them benefits, boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
All right, anyway, we can go to Joe if you want.
okay. Joe, I feel like I'm just going to have a lot to say with these next
Before you
two,
do.
plus the after skirts.
Okay, before you do, in or out on the high school deal with Joe? I just need to know. In or out.
Okay. I'm over the high school stuff. It's like
We
you
move
can't
past
make
it.
that. Yeah, you can't make that your identity. You can't.
I agree.
You gotta
We're-
cut that cord.
We were texting during. It's like, move on. What are we doing?
You're 30 fucking years old.
We
Joe.
get it. You went to.
Figure it
I
out.
don't understand it. Okay, go ahead with Joe. We
I'm
just wanna
very
put that out there.
okay. Yeah, I'm very confused. Like why they went to the high school, but I did think it was kind of cute, the prom thing, only because they're really limited on what they can do. And he's the only one that could show him like a true piece of his hometown because they were where he grew up, you know?
Right.
So I do think he had the advantage in that sense. So the prom thing, she comes in, she looks stunning in that dress. I felt like that was like he looked amazing in his tux. On my notes, I said those photos of Joe in the photo booth could have literally stopped time.
He
did.
He looked incredibly
looked-
handsome.
How did
I
he look?
was-
How did he look so much better in those photo booth pics? Like he looks.
I
know if, I don't know if they had some Photoshop action going on there. I don't know.
It was-
He looked.
I agree.
It
It was
was-
weird that we
we-
didn't even talk about that.
We were
both-
all like, holy shit, those photos are like the
that shit was
best thing I've
airbrushed.
ever seen.
I know.
I think it's because like there's something to be said about a front flash, and the show, all the lighting does really like, I feel like everyone looks better after the show because the show like washes everyone out and like you've been on camera for hours, I don't know. But he looked amazing. I thought the whole prom date thing, like, yes, it was corny, but they seemed to really have been vibing. What were your guys'
Yeah.
thoughts on that portion of the date?
Oh, how bad was like the lunchroom like pick her up on the
Oh,
the ledge? And
that
kiss?
was,
That was
so
bad.
uncomfortable.
That made
was
me crawl
awful.
inside, like everything.
I wanted
Just-
to curl up and die. That
Yeah,
was awful.
yeah.
But
It was
the
really
only-
bad.
I thought it was pretty cheesy. The only thing that I will say that redeemed it was that it seemed like Michelle has taken this poem that she did like 4 episodes ago very, very seriously. She brings it up all the time.
Yeah.
And in that poem, she talked about like not being picked for prom. And like, it seemed like throughout all these episodes, she's been begging someone to like hear her in
Yeah.
that poem, and like him, I guess, notice or recognizing that and like kind of giving her that sort of.
That's
like,
such a
hey.
good point. I didn't even
Yeah,
connect
that's-
those dots.
So that was the only redeeming-
Oh, that's so fucking
That he,
cute.
like,
Okay.
that he like
I take
noticed
everything
that.
back.
But it's still kind of cheesy. But that was a nice touch. Like that was.
I just think it's weird to do prom when you're 30 is so fucking strange.
That's the only redeeming part, is that she has been like,
It's
someone please hear me on this. She's brought it up so many times.
but it's also like I
It's-
don't
I
know.
know.
It's odd to like hang on to that. I guess it's all very weird.
Yeah.
I think
Like-
it's
like,
more
imagine-
so.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I think it's more so like an innuendo, like kind of what Wes was saying. Like she was the first to be asked to play basketball, the last for prom, and like that's him showing her he's picking her. Prom is a bad example, but that makes sense.
Like I just put myself in that mindset. If I'm on like a surprise date and walking, hey, I made a prom for you. I'm like, so are you gonna murder me or
He said,
what's
big serial killer vibes?
like just on the surface, no context? That's a weird thing to do for a date as a
Yeah.
fully grown couple.
yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I
the only
think that
thing-
they couldn't do the basketball thing again, and maybe he just didn't know what else to do. But yeah, I agree. I didn't love the high school theme, but I loved how they
Again,
were
like,
together on the date.
yeah, yeah. Anything else I have? They did some very. It's like it's a cool idea to like connect her poem and talking about all that stuff to the prom and inviting her and picking her for prom, but like in practice, it's really really weird. Like you're just like dancing alone, like
I know.
awkwardly in an empty room. They did the photo booth, which was cool. Those are good. I don't know.
Joe's dancing was so awkward.
It was
I could
really awkward.
could have
dancing.
predicted that. He's just very like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, like, we actually saw a lot more of Joe's personality during this portion of the date. Like, we saw him like laughing and actually like I don't know, seeming like he was enjoying himself quite a bit.
Yeah. He said
So
that
I
he
really like
didn't like
Joe.
science, didn't like math, didn't like he was a big fan of recess and lunch. And just classic jock shit.
you're 30. Get over it, dude. Like, your personality can't be your 18-year-old self forever. Figure it out, Joe.
Joe's favorite class is PE for sure.
Yeah. Oh, sick.
I hated lunch break, just to be completely transparent, because I was always scared I wasn't gonna have someone to sit by.
Oh, the
Don't want to be fucking Steven Glansberg. Can't have
the
that.
high school anxiety of having no one to
It
sit
really-
with lunch. That's tough.
Right. I never ate in the bathroom though, so I'm winning somewhere. Okay, so then we go to the evening portion of the date, and I loved that we had more people here because I love to see a sister's opinion. This was a sister-in-law, so we had brother, sister-in-law, parents.
She acted like a sister. She was front and center.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I loved it. I thought that it was great. We needed it.
I don't. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I don't know their relationship. I did. I thought it was a little odd that the sister-in-law was so front and center. And I
She,
know,
like, led it.
yeah, I understand. Probably their whole family is a lot like Joe, and they're all probably very quiet and
Right.
reserved. So she was just taking over. But it was very like, I don't know how long they've been married or how long he's known her, but it was very like, why am I trusting you to lead this process?
We have no clue, but it seemed like Joe's brother and that girl have been dating since like third grade.
Yeah,
like, it's
probably.
like almost his own sister type of.
I
deal.
don't know. Like, think of
was
like
real
if
protective.
Paul and I, like, okay, say Paul gets on The Bachelorette and like it's Tommy's parents and me and Tommy, like, who's going to be running that conversation? It's going to
Tom
be me.
Senior.
Yeah, Tom
No,
Senior. Put his
it's
foot
not.
down. Are you kidding me?
No, it's not. I feel like that's just such a sister/sister-in-law thing. Like,
Yeah,
I feel
maybe.
like Paul, out of anyone, Paul talks to me the most about girls. He's not talking to his parents.
Yeah, I think
So-
that's probably common. That's probably a good point. Yeah,
Yeah, it's fair. It's just an observation. She
Yeah.
was just very, very aggressive.
very.
I know. And I
What
loved
would
it.
you-
Like,
I was going to text you to like have you think about this, but I didn't. But you brought it up. If that happened, like if Paul was on it or someone you knew or a family member or whatever, what would you ask? Like, what would you want to know? I don't even know how I would act in that situation.
so we kind of like talked about this too, because someone had mentioned that she was kind of aggressive. And I was like, I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't be aggressive, but I would just say, like, tell me everything. Like, I was actually thinking about that on the way home. I would like want to tell her, like, tell me everything. Like, how do you feel? Has he opened up to you? What are the things that you still want to know? Because then I could go back and like tell him that, like, hey, you need to make sure you get this on lock. Because I think like the cliche questions, like, I wouldn't care about anyone else in the competition. Like, let's sell her on the guy that she's with right now. I don't really care about how she's feeling about the other guys.
Yeah, I don't remember. I wrote this down because the sister-in-law asked it. I don't remember what Michelle said or how she like handled it. The sister-in-law asked her, like, how is she going to make these decisions? Like, what sort of like criteria or what's going into these decisions that we're going to send these guys home? I don't remember what she said though. Did she? I don't remember.
I think
You
she
know?
danced around that.
Yeah.
I don't remember her answering that either.
Yeah, I think she did kind of squirm and give a non-answer, if I recall.
Because like, what do you say at the same time? What do you say? It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Like,
I mean, at the end of the day,
So
you go
weird.
with your gut. You have to go with your gut. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
and like this entire show, what can we really gain from this hour and a half, 2 hours that I have with this family? What can they gain about me? What can I really gain about them? we're probably just going to be a little defensive for the first hour and not really give anything away.
If you were in Michelle's spot, what would you like ask parents? How could you gain anything from this? What would you really be looking for?
I think I would ask about their personality. Like, I feel like no one ever asks about that. Like, what's your favorite thing about Nate? You know, when did you kind of like see Joe as more of an adult or as like more of like an emerging professional? Like, I would want to know those things. Like,
yeah, I don't know what I would ask if I was like.
No, I would be like Joe's dad, just completely freeze up and say absolutely nothing.
Him and Joe, I can imagine that conversation's happened a lot.
Yeah, I love that. That was
Joe and his dad.
Me and him totally related. Him and his dad are just like, you got anything else to ask? He's like, nope.
That's my dad too.
All right, cool.
Put the Cardinals on or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So them Cardinals are doing real shitty right now.
Sports, pretty good.
Like,
all right.
Like, thinking about Tommy's dad and Tommy sitting in that room, like, there's just nothing. She's hot.
Don't be a pussy, Tom. She's hot. Just freaking ask her to marry or whatever. Do whatever you gotta do.
Come on. Yeah.
I gotta imagine my dad would say, "What the fuck are you doing here? What are you serious with this shit?
What are we doing? Have you seen that Harry Styles meme? He's like, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
I mean, what are we doing?
So, okay, I found it very interesting that Joe then said he is ready to propose. Did that fucking shake anyone else?
That's the first we've seen, really.
That's the first person that said that. So, well, I guess Brandon kind of said it without.
He says it like every time he's on
Yeah,
camera.
Brandon said it.
We laid eyes on her.
I love you.
You're the love of my life. I'm gonna marry you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I haven't watched the show enough, but it seems like if you get to this point, it's like
you better.
You better be. I mean, and obviously, I know that in the past we've seen that not be the case, which is that'd be great. That'd be so awkward.
Oh, man.
Feed it to me.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen unless it's Nate. Maybe, who knows? Oh, what are you going to do if Nate wins and he doesn't? He
I think
refuses.
I don't know.
So actually, it's. I feel like they could go about it in a proper way of like, look, I know that I want to be with you, but I can't propose. Like, I'm not ready for that. I feel like there's a good way to do that. I would not be disappointed if that happened. I think we can talk about Nate just all in one, but say like Joe did that to her too. I feel like that kind of shows a sense of maturity. Like, I want to be with you. I'm not doing this shit for show or else I would just break up with you.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, seems. Let's actually do something rational on this show. What do you think?
I just really liked Joe. I feel like more so this episode than I ever have felt. Like, I really do think that Joe is the better fit for her than Nate.
Whoa, that's big of you. Oh my God.
Oh, wow, the turntables.
Look at you.
I know. Okay, so I have this theory, and this is like, I really hope that not a lot of people hear me say this because I feel like it's so fucked up for me to say. But I have this theory that like Michelle really likes the idea of Nate because she feels like he was somewhat unattainable. Like, you see Nate, he was probably the top dog in high school, top dog in college. He's hot. He's the guy you want to go home with after a bar and hook up with. And she's maybe never had that opportunity. So I feel like for her, she's like, okay, I like Nate because he's different. And I think that she should take him to Fantasy Suites and like pound that out, get that out of her system. But then at the end of the day, I think that like Joe is realistically like who she makes the most sense to be with. Like, not saying Nate's out of her league. I just think he's like that. He's not a bad boy is my impression of him, but he still gives that energy. I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. I'm like, there's something off there. Like, I absolutely love Nate. I'm obsessed with him, but I can't see them being together forever.
I think that's pretty reasonable. I think that makes sense.
So, I think probably move on to Nate's date. That's a good segue.
Yeah.
Nope.
Hold on,
More
hold on,
Joe.
hold on. I have one more thing to say because I had to rewind on this. So, out on the notorious bench, Joe said he was falling in love with her, which is huge because he's not a big talker, okay? And we were like, wait. Did she not reply? Did she not say it? Or are they editing it that to make us think that he's not going to advance? So we rewound the tape and we noticed that it was like a clip, like it cut after he said he was falling in love with her. And then it was another like jump cut or whatever. And then they started kissing, but he went in for the kiss. And it was like a break. So I think she replied to that. They cut that out to make it seem like he was more of an underdog this episode. And then they kissed. And so it made everyone think like, why the fuck didn't she say it back? Our theory is that she did say it back.
These motherfuckers with this crafty editing.
Speaking of this editing,
playing with my fucking emotions.
We were duped.
We were duped on this whole fucking Nate situation. These motherfuckers, they tried to get us, and they did. They got me hook, line, and sinker.
They were happy.
What do you mean?
They were happy tears, not sad tears.
We were fully under the impression that he was having a meltdown, that it was over. It was all happy tears. Those motherfuckers.
I mean, there was some messaging from both mom and dad, that maybe wasn't great for the future. But the moment with his stepdad, that was a good moment for them. Not because they showed the last 2 times that Nate was like crying on camera. We're like, oh no, what happened?
Okay.
It's so funny because it's literally the exact same thing, but the background music has changed and it's completely different to what you think is going on.
Yeah,
music can change everything.
Yeah, that's filmmaking, baby.
Just to kind of like reiterate my theory about like her thinking that she's attaining this bad boy for once, this is the only outfit that I was like, oh, okay. She's wearing a leather dress to meet his parents.
I noticed that too. I
was kind of surprised by that. And like, we were like, okay, that's interesting. She was wearing like a sweater get up for all the other, but whatever. Their paddleboarding date, obviously I was a fan of that. Who wasn't a fan of that? They both looked amazing. Like her swimsuit was amazing. Nate obviously looked great. I think we forget how truly tall he is too. Like he makes her look so tiny.
He's gigantic, and she's not short. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's what's crazy. Is like imagine like a normal human next to him. Like whatever.
Yeah,
so
what's it like?
Yeah, it's like being a big freaking animal.
Like being a big tall Sasquatch of a man.
It's great. I'm much better than everyone else. I've got better genes than you all. You can suck it. What are Nate's tattoos? Good or bad?
I wanted to bring it up too.
Maybe his tattoos are bad.
I think they might be bad.
I liked them. I don't know. I liked them.
That was so many words on the side. I mean, that was an entire fucking novel on his chest there.
I don't know. I mean, I get it. But like, I don't know. I'm all about like a highly tatted up dude. So it was just like,
I'm in for tattoos, but sometimes they're bad tattoos though. You know, I'm all for guys that are tatted up, but you gotta do it in a way that looks nice.
What was bad about it? What was bad about it? I don't know.
They looked kind of whatever the Bible verse or whatever looked kind of shitty. I don't know what that was on his back with like the skull, the statue.
So it's Medusa.
Yeah.
It's Perseus or per whatever holding the head of Medusa.
Okay. Sure.
I get it, but I just like the look of a lot of tattoos. So like we're looking at it as a whole, not individually.
Yeah, I think it looks. Without much context, I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know.
I have to say, I love that he wears so much jewelry. I feel like it takes like a really rare person to pull that off.
Yeah, he's cool.
I know. It just like, it looks really good. I'm like, what the fuck? I looked at some rings yesterday for Tommy for Christmas.
I don't know about that.
I was I'll never wear them.
The age-old question is, does a dangly earring make you cool, or do you have to be a certain level of cool to wear a dangly earring? And I think the answer is you got to be cool enough to wear one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if Wes put in a dangly earring right now, I would do nothing but flame him. I would do nothing but flame him.
I would pull that off. Don't even.
He gives me, yeah, he I'm not saying you couldn't pull it off, but it would just be funny.
It would be.
And he also, Nate, after this episode, was on Instagram stories defending the fact that his eyebrows looked so thin on this episode. He was like, I went a little crazy with the trimmers, and I thought that was hilarious.
I didn't know, so.
No.
I did. Okay, so back to the date. We saw the paddleboarding, and I thought the moments of them just like sitting on like the pier or whatever were very sweet. And they were really hyping up a lot that like they don't talk about this stuff. And I believed that they didn't talk about this stuff. Did you guys buy into that?
Oh yeah.
Him and his family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then also, he just slipped in there that his stepdad was going to be there, even though they've been divorced for 3 years. Was I
really?
confused about
I
that?
I didn't catch that.
Or was it his dad and him had been divorced for 3 years? I was so confused.
But then he said
that.
He mentioned his dad.
But then he said when they were talking, he said he'd known him since
he was a
ninth
freshman.
grade.
So I think they've been divorced for 3 years.
And they just came back that's weird.
I didn't catch
he
that
said
at
like,
all.
okay, yeah. He's like, they've been divorced for 3 years, so it means a lot that he came here. And then he even said that was like, you'll always be a part of my family. It's like, I was kind of confused about the dynamic too, but the stepdad meant business in that satin shirt.
Oh my god,
okay?
He was so serious.
Don't see him. His shirt was giving me like priest vibes, but like the Bruno Mars version. What's that? Silk and Sonic.
Yeah.
And Sonic?
Okay.
Anderson .Paak.
Got nothing.
Not to be dramatic, but I wanna die.
This bitch
got me paying rent.
That's a good song.
Diamonds on her wrist.
That song hits.
Yeah.
No matter where I'm at when that song comes on, it fucking hits. I love that song. But yeah, he was giving some of those vibes tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to comment on this. His mom was a fucking angel. Like, she brought Michelle a gift and was like, bring this to your students.
Oh, was that her?
Like,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Nice touch.
Yes.
Nice touch.
That was so sweet. We've never, in the time that I'm watching the show, I've never seen the parents bring the contestants a gift. It's always the other way around. And I just thought that was like seriously so sweet and thoughtful. And his mom was just so nice, but being very reasonable. And I really liked her.
Yeah.
And I thought this was like really special because even if Nate walks away with nothing out of this, I think that he had some very important conversations tonight that he needed to like confirm that like he wants to be a really good dad or a really good husband that maybe he didn't see from his dad, even though he loves his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine being like, if this is all totally real and they never ever talk to each other like this at all. Imagine doing this on camera for ABC. For the first, like actually talking like that for the first time. Really weird. Really
like
odd.
It's shit like that. It's just like, you know, if I put myself in that situation, it just doesn't seem like that would actually happen, you know? It seems like you would be the opposite. It seems like you'd be way more closed off than you even would have been before.
So
Maybe.
I think that like, okay, think about it like this though. Like you guys are in your room or in your apartment right now with some cameras on you. And you just feel very comfortable because of your company. So like, I feel like you really do disassociate with the fact that it's not like you're watching yourself and you see like this live stream on the top of your screen that says like, you know, 40 million people are going to see this throughout your lifetime. Like it really is just kind of like that vulnerable moment. You don't think like, yes, someone's there, but I don't know. I feel like
I believed it. Like I thought.
I don't think they're acting because I mean,
no, I don't think
they're crying and very.
Yeah.
I thought he looked very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like you would.
I just think they're
disassociating
because like you're with like maybe a couple camera crew people, but not a ton because that house isn't big enough to have like a.
And also,
30
you get to know them too. Like you probably know all the people by name too. It kind of gets a little more familiar
easy.
too.
Yeah. So I feel like that kind of makes sense. Like I kind of like overspeak a lot of the times. Like I overshare, I mean. And so I feel
No.
like it would be so easy for me to like just kind of like do all of this when I'm already vulnerable because like sorority recruitment, for an instance, like you had to get so used to talking about things that were so vulnerable and like prying information out of people that like I found myself in like normal day-to-day conversations. I would be like asking people these deep conversations like out in public. And I'd be like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what are we doing?
I don't even know you.
I would be like, oh, why do you feel that way? And then I'd be like, stop, reel it in, reel it in. So I feel like they're caught up in the moment, but it was really sweet to watch. But, you know, then of course, Nate gets that edit of like, he's not ready to get engaged. Yeah, no fucking shit. He's not ready to get engaged.
Yeah, and he says that too, and his stepdad says that. I mean, we knew from all of the edits and previews that his stepdad was going to say something like that. But were you surprised to hear Nate also say like he's not 100% sure that he's going to propose if he gets chosen? So that's basically what he said.
I wasn't surprised that he felt that way. I was surprised that he actually like verbalized it out loud.
Yeah, he said he's not 100% sure he wants to propose if it comes down to it. Which don't blame you. Like
No.
So
I mean,
okay.
If you've really never brought a girlfriend home to your parents, like you're not just going to be ready to.
Yeah, his mom said that was his first serious relationship. This
Yeah.
would be. You're like meeting them.
That guy's
there's
just,
a lot to
he's
unpack.
just fucking.
I guess.
Guys,
yeah, is he just
fucking
He's
dicks
gotta-
and never speaking to him ever again?
Huh.
Oh,
Well,
yeah. He's
right?
got to be.
Probably.
I mean, I'm sure
I
he's
think
not
so.
just like,
Seems like he could.
hashtag alone forever on
Yeah.
date.
He's
I'm
not just hanging out with Jill. Like he's got company.
Yeah. You're not the type of guy that wears dangly earrings and trims your eyebrows and is just like, I've never been with a woman before.
Yeah, that doesn't crack. That's not.
Okay, so we go into this like post Nate or post all the hometown dates, like monologue with Michelle. Did you guys notice anything after her friends came in that you were like, oh, is that a red flag? Because I did.
So this has nothing to do with it. No, I didn't.
They were two people from her season, right?
Yes.
How far did those three get into? It was Matt. How far did they get into Matt's season?
Serena was maybe like top 5, top 6, and she sent herself home because she wasn't feeling it with Matt. But then she went on Paradise and got engaged to Joe, who was from a few seasons prior. And then Bree made it decently far, but I can't say how far she made it. She was noteworthy.
The first thing that I said was that Matt has a type because they all looked very, very similar.
Yeah, I agree.
But other than like red flags as far as any people or any contestants this year or this season, I didn't really notice anything. She admitted that she was wrong, that she did end up finding people that she could get.
Okay. I just want to unpack that a little bit because we start this day with her saying that she's so like upset and kind of questioning Nate because he's not ready to get engaged. Then we see Bree and Serena come in, and Serena's like, hey, the last time we talked, you were questioning if this would work for you, and you were questioning if you would find someone in the end. Let's not forget that she's already been a contestant on this show. So after Michelle was a contestant on the show, she still had worries that she would not be able to get engaged and find her person. So then she's questioning Nate about this, but just, you know, when she was in Nate's shoes, she also wasn't prepared for an engagement or didn't know if that would work. So I just felt like it was so hypocritical.
It's a good point.
Like, Michelle is a step ahead of Nate because she's been the contestant. Now she's the Bachelorette. So I feel like she needs to empathize a little bit deeper with Nate by saying, like, look, when I was in your shoes, I didn't know what the fuck I wanted either.
It's hard to expect that from someone. Yeah.
Right. So I was just like, holy crap, that's like huge because she just admitted that she really felt that way even after being on the other side.
Yeah,
Good point.
it's a little hypocritical to say the least. I didn't even really pick up on that, or really.
I remember her saying that.
I remember saying I didn't put that puzzle piece together really in my head, I guess. But
that's
yeah, I mean, all these people, they have to all feel that way. There's no
Right.
easy lying if you're just like, I'm ready for you to be my wife, and I don't care about the circumstances of this whole fucking thing.
and
I'm
like
obviously
not
very comfortable in myself and my relationship, and that's why I'm on this fucking show. Like,
and not
you know
to
what I mean?
mention like they're all relatively young. Like 27 is like still I feel like still like an average to young age to get engaged when you're like look, sure, would I get married at this age? Absolutely, but like I'm also the pressure is not on. Like the clock is not ticking for me. Like I have no timeline. It's not like I'm 40 and I want to have a baby. So I just felt like it was just like what's the rush in commitment, as my man Drake says, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The great
So
philosopher of our time.
right. So I felt like that was still very interesting and it kind of brought in the human aspect of her, right? Like I feel like she's still a great bachelorette, but she needs to touch the grass a little bit. Like you have to realize this is still life here. But overall, I loved that they brought in her friends. I felt like she was genuinely surprised to see them. And then we go into this rose ceremony where this is the most fire dress I've ever seen.
She looked great. She looked fantastic.
It was
gotta
like,
I
I
gotta
was like,
admit to you, I don't remember.
bitch, you're kidding. It was the
was-
black. It was the black with the high slit and the 3 straps with like the little bra looking
Sounds
thing.
hot.
It's like
was
some
great.
combat gear, but
All
also going to the fucking ball.
Hold on, I got a
alright.
picture.
Pretty
You don't
good.
remember
Yeah.
that?
She's
did.
always I don't know. She always looks good. She's always wearing.
She always
She has
looks
like
so
20
good.
wardrobes an episode.
I know. I just love her so much.
What do you
Okay,
want from
so we see her in the rose ceremony. There was 3 roses, which I was kind of only expecting 2. I don't know why I was doing that because obviously someone has to go home after fantasy suites.
Duh.
you
I
knew?
know. I know. But when she called Brandon first, I could have flipped a table. I could have
Why?
flipped a table.
You didn't expect that?
She's in love with
No.
him. He's the man of her dreams. She
You
wants
really
to be
thought-
with him forever.
You really thought after that episode Brandon was going to go home?
I didn't, but I just didn't want him to be called first. I fucking
What?
hated that he was called first.
He's
I
the love
just-
of her life.
Yeah,
Shut
you're
up.
gonna be so down bad when it's Brandon and Michelle together forever. You're gonna be.
I literally,
distraught.
I'll have to take a social media break. I will be so upset. I just think that's like worst case scenario.
Or when 2 seasons from now, Brandon Jay's The Bachelor.
Oh,
No, I
Oh,
won't watch.
dear.
I'm sorry,
how many
Brandon.
times an
You're gonna watch
episode-
Clayton though. He's not any better.
How many times an episode does Brandon have to say "gosh"? He's like Napoleon
Oh,
Dynamite. this
oh my
motherfucker.
gosh, this
Oh,
woman!
look,
I'm falling
gosh.
for this woman. Oh my gosh!
Okay, Brandon, I wish him all the best. I just don't fucking like him. Like
don't
he's
think you
just
do. I don't think you.
No.
You seem like you're.
I just don't understand the hype with Brandon. Like I think he reminds me
Big-
too much of like the guy that like always tried super hard to
Big
like
time, like little brother energy.
No, I think we said this a long time ago. I don't know if we were talking about him, but he's the like, where's my hug guy? Like,
That's what I said about Brandon. Yeah.
yeah,
Ugh.
he's just he's
So
the guy
she-
that when he was 15, he's like, my girlfriend in high school is the love of my life. I'm gonna marry her, and we're gonna have 3 kids. And you're planning.
Two
He's like,
dogs.
dude, you're 15 years old. You cannot drive a car.
Take it
I
easy.
just
That's-
know he gave his like girlfriend in high school his high school ring and was like, wear this around your neck, babe. Like I just
Shame.
know that was him.
Here's my class ring,
He should have
babe.
done the high school date.
Yeah, that would have tried. That would have been so. On,
He should have
on the
done-
nose.
Junior high date. Honestly,
Junior
that's
high-
like
Sadie Hawkins mixer.
Sadie Hawkins.
Brandon might be lying about his age.
Yeah. Whoa.
Maybe he's like
Dude.
17 years old.
That would rule.
Sadie
Michelle-
Hawkins dance.
Oh, they reveal
in
that
my
next
Peppy
episode.
pants.
So, Michelle, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm going to tell you this, but I'm 17.
I'd like to formally
fuck.
invite you to my high school graduation.
Will you go to formal with me? Um,
Oh my.
so okay, so rose ceremony, she calls Nate second, which I was shocked also
Same.
that she called Nate second because I thought that she would do Nate in the bottom two because he was like
Build the
confused
drama.
about getting engaged.
Yeah, because we knew Joe had no shot of going home,
Yeah,
so it
build the
took the drama out of the final rose.
But think about the production. Like they thought they were being tricky by like showing us that she didn't tell him she's falling for him back because she's already told Nate she's falling for him.
How many people do you think actually picked up on that?
I don't think that many people picked up.
I don't think.
I think
it
that was
that
pretty
deep.
subtle. I don't know.
Okay.
I
But
could be wrong,
also,
though.
we were also talking about like how crazy would it be is like if she like strung Joe along this whole time and then was like, fuck you,
Oh.
you didn't DM me back.
Oh man, that
bitch."
would also be awesome.
She's like, you didn't choose me.
Who
a
got
couple
ghosted
months
now,
ago.
bitch?
Yeah.
Get ghosted at the altar, ho.
Yeah. Fucking owned.
Yeah,
So-
she doesn't want to marry anybody. She just takes him all the way to the very end, and
Oh.
she's like, "Actually, go fuck yourself, Joe.
Oh.
Single
Yeah.
forever, bitches."
Oh man.
I'm hoping for
I
that
think
now.
that's honestly like a funny alternative to think about. It won't happen, but it's funny. So then we see our poor dear beloved Rodney go home, which we all knew was happening, but like he's just the sweetest guy. He didn't shed a single tear.
No, he didn't.
Could have been his pride. Could have been his pride.
Strong man, Rodney. Hung tough.
And then we just like it's pretty like cut and dry after that. It thrushes us into a preview for The Bachelor, which I was just like, what the fuck? They didn't even do an official announcement.
It's
Yeah.
just a trailer.
They're
know
just
this
like,
season fucking
boom.
sucks.
They're just
I know
like,
it
boom,
sucks.
Clayton's here. And I was like,
Yeah.
none of these women look like anything I'd want to watch. Clayton doesn't look like, I don't know. For me personally, I just think like I couldn't be less. What?
I might be in. I might be in. to
You
the
liked
season.
the women?
I mean, I don't know.
They're
give 'em a
women.
Right.
They're
I
women.
think it'd be way more fun for us or me to have
Okay.
30 women there, and I don't know.
A lot of chicks crying. That's cool.
Oh, there was a super cut of like
There's
6 chicks.
We laughed out
bawling.
loud. It was like dot 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 dot.
I think they would possibly make it more interesting. I don't know. A lot
Yeah,
more,
there's
like,
more
drama
drama.
and like catty shit. I don't know. That could be fun.
Clayton fucking
Clayton
sucks,
sucks,
though. He's so goddamn boring.
Yeah.
And he's like always like this.
I just can't believe that I'm about to find my life.
Oh my
He's
god.
like, this is
Gives me chills to
amazing.
know that my wife is here.
I'm
So
an action
I-
figure who has a pull string in my back. Ha, 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 ha.
What gives me chills, Clayton, is the fucking presence of you.
Yeah.
You creep me out.
Yeah, I'm not excited for Clayton. I will watch, obviously. I might not watch as closely as I'm watching Michelle's season because I like Michelle, but I want to know who the next Bachelorette would be, and I would want to observe her before. So I'm not excited about it, but obviously I will be watching. And they didn't even give us a preview for the next episode, did they?
No, nothing. They did a little teaser for the guys.
Do you think
tell-all
they
thing.
do you think they did that on accident? Like, what the fuck? Why didn't we get the fucking?
I for
Okay.
sure think they didn't do it on accident.
No, you know. No
So
chance.
let me talk about the men's tell-all. So everyone that we know who is eliminated off of this season is all going to be, or pretty much everyone noteworthy will be invited into a room where they're filmed and asked questions about the season. And then there's something called the hot seat. So the hot seat is up with the host. And if you get invited on the hot seat, like it's like one-on-one time where you're like asked, and it's like, this is like your application to be like still liked in the Bachelor Nation, or you might be asked to go on Paradise and things like that. So the hot seat is always really important to be, noting. And so there's always a lot of drama, like, Will and who was it? Will and someone had a lot of beef.
Pizza boy.
Peter.
So like they're gonna like flush it out, and they'll be arguing through the crowd, and it'll just be like, a drama fest. And then they typically bring out the next Bachelor or Bachelorette to do an interview. And sometimes they'll introduce their first few contestants that night too.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So it is always exciting. So next week we have a Monday and Tuesday. So we're doing back-to-back nights, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are you asking like if we're going to record back to back, or are we just going to do one show?
Well, we have back-to-back shows is what I meant for like The Bachelor to watch.
Yeah.
And so I'm the men's tell-all is like fun to watch, but it's like I don't think we could make like a full episode off just that because like these guys are all gone. We don't really give a fuck, right? I want to see these fantasy suites. I'm so excited.
So that'll still be on Tuesday, right? They didn't even announce. I assume it's just like a regular episode.
It should be. Yeah, it should be on Tuesday. It's always on Monday and Tuesday, the men's tell-all and Bachelorette, even when the normal Bachelorette is on Mondays.
2 weeks from now, we'll know the winner, correct?
Yes.
So next week will be the fantasy suites. The week after that we'll know the winner.
It'll be a 2-night special. It'll be a 2-night special the week after this.
Oh, okay. So that'll be like episode 9 and 10 because this is episode 7, right? So next week 8 will be, and then the 2-night special is technically like episode 9 and 10. I thought it was Thursday.
Yeah, okay. There's 10 episodes. Yeah, because there should
maybe this is 6. No,
it's 7.
Are you sure?
Yeah, pretty sure.
What episode is this for our podcast?
Yeah, 7. I'm pretty sure it's 7.
So then that would be 8, 9, and then only one episode.
Oh,
I don't want to look.
If you want to count like the men's tell-all as an episode, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, I figured you did. I mean,
I figured you did too.
No, but that would make more sense. And then like that
would be 11 then.
The finale would be like 1 and like a full. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, I'm super excited for Fantasy Suites more than anything else.
Okay, everything's
don't worry about it.
But yeah, any fine. Oh! I forgot to say.
You said you wrote something down that you didn't want to forget.
Word on the street is that Tayshia will be saying why her and Zach broke up during the
Let's go. Spoiler, folks, it's because she met me.
Hey, were you sliding into her DMs?
Zach? Yeah. You did. No one else is doing that, so I figured I'd give her some attention.
Yeah. Snapchat?
Yeah. What's your snap, girl?
So I'm excited. I think that'll be the most exciting part of the men's tell-all. But overall, I'm still loving Michelle. This episode was good. I know it was really hard to watch, but at the same time, that was like kind of the beauty in it, right? Is that we saw something that was like...
It was tough.
Yeah.
It was real.
But yeah, that's my piece.
Are you ready to admit that Joe is the favorite at this point? Are we there?
I am ready to admit that. Only because I feel like I like Nate the most, but I think that Joe is realistically the best fit for her. The whole like being from the same area just makes so much sense.
Yeah, it's a slam dunk. It's really a nice in.
A lot more to relate on.
Yeah. You said that you think Brandon does actually have a chance. You believe that?
I
think he has a small chance. He has the longest odds of the 3 guys, but I think he has a chance.
I agree. I hate that he does, but he does.
I'd put it at like
handicap the field for me.
I'd give Joe about a 68% chance.
No, I mean like minus 180.
Well, most people listening to this aren't going to understand that.
That's true.
Okay. I'm not going to even understand that.
Yeah, I'd give Joe like a 68% chance to win. I'd give Nate like
you're on 90%.
20% chance. And then I'd give...
That's a huge favor for Joe.
Nah, maybe 58. I'd give Nate 30, and then I'd give Brandon what is left after that. Like 12.
2.
That's about right.
Close enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Joe and Nate are a little closer than we're leading on right now. But I do think Joe is the clear favorite. But I would put it a little closer, probably.
Man,
but after tonight,
sparks with Nate are just there.
Well, I wrote down strong, and you said when his date started, just an instant, just kinetic, just an energy right away.
Sparks are different with her and Nate.
I
Energy
know.
right away.
Man,
Nate-
maybe I
It's-
think Nate's. I don't know.
He also, when he's on the screen, he seems the most like natural, like they're just two people actually talking. Everyone else seems a little like corny and stiff, I would say.
Yeah.
I think her and Nate talking seems the best, but
And she
I'm
was
kind of
like,
talking myself into Nate winning.
you were just saying,
Yeah, I know.
you just said Joe had a 68% chance.
Well,
to
I'm
win.
talking myself into it. I don't know.
Have some
then-
conviction.
I
And
don't.
then, like, and then like, what did Michelle at the beginning of their date was like, oh, I just always feel like nervous, like butterflies around you. I'm like, come on, that's like telltale right there. I don't know. So yeah, I'm excited. Simp of the week, obviously, every week is just Brandon. So I feel like,
My man BJ.
Brandon B simping.
Yeah.
yep.
BJ
But-
and the B is for B simping.
I think this will be the first time in history that a black man wins or finishes first in Bachelorette history.
Really? Wait, what about the girl that quit early? Didn't she leave with?
Well, she did leave with Dale, but technically that wasn't a complete season because
That's not winning.
I guess they didn't consider that because he left with Claire, but the season kept going on.
He wasn't, like,
But
chosen
that's
at the
true.
end.
That's true. Dale, I guess,
Just-
kind of did.
I got all the knowledge up here. You can't
Yeah,
slip
you
anything
do.
by me. You can't slip anything by me. I just know that because she's nuts, right? Isn't she insane?
She's
I have no idea
just
who those
like,
people are.
she's buku fucking crazy.
So they had a season. She was the Bachelorette, and I don't know how far into it. Like halfway through, she's like, "This
no,
is the
no,
guy."
no, like three episodes in, maybe two.
She's like, "I pick him,"
That fucking
Yeah.
rocks.
and then that's when
And they
the
were like-
host, Tayshia came in. She's like, "All right, well, you can just take over the season, right? Wasn't that her?"
She wasn't hosting at the time, but they were like, Tasia, you come in. And she
Yeah, right.
took
that's-
over. And then that's when she met Zach and got engaged to him.
under the best of circumstances.
2 or 3 episodes in, she's like, "This is it."
I met my husband because I was the backup Bachelorette and I subbed in.
I was the relief pitcher Bachelorette.
Yeah.
What could have gone wrong?
Didn't work
Hell
out.
yeah.
Didn't work out. All right. anything
I
else,
will-
folks?
I will say, if anyone needs some entertainment, go look at Joe's Instagram stories right now. There's a lot of memes about his dad, and they're hilarious.
Oh yeah, you texted us one. That was what the one. It just so on the nose. That has to be Joe's dad. If you had to like match up the dads with the contestants, it's not even close. He's Joe's dad.
Yeah. So yeah, that's funny, but nothing else for me. I'm excited for next week, and we'll see some drama, and then we'll see some sweet, sweet lovemaking.
This is our first fantasy suite, right?
Brandon
That's
J is gonna cry so goddamn
Oh, man. We
much.
ever had any mishaps in this fantasy suite? I feel like Brandon J. could-
My
maybe.
prediction.
I'm sorry, I promise this never
This
happens.
never happens, Michelle.
No. My prediction is that Brandon will not even get invited to the overnight portion. I think she'll dump him
What?
at the dinner. Yeah, because you have to get invited to the overnight portion.
Wow. That's a
So I
bold
think at
call,
the
and I
dinner,
love it.
she's going to say, like, you know what?
This
I
ain't
like
it.
you, but this ain't it.
You're my little
Oh,
brother.
he's gonna fucking lose
Yeah,
it.
he's gonna cry a lot, huh?
Oh,
Yep.
That's gonna be tough to watch. Can't wait. Hope that
Yeah,
happens.
I can't wait either.
All
Well,
right.
thank you guys. It's been fun. I'm so excited. We're on our final stretch here.
It's down. It's getting real. It's a
we've
home
almost
stretch.
done it.
Thank
We've
you
almost
all.
done it.
Thank you all for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and like the
I
episode.
want to hear who thinks is going to win. I want to know. I want to
Yeah,
hear it.
Tweet at the show. Tweet at us in the link of the YouTube in the description. We'll have all the Twitter. Just hit us up. Who you think's gonna win? If you're listening to audio only, make sure to subscribe there too and rate 5 stars. Of course, we'll be back next week with the men's tell all and the fantasy suite recap. Huge episode. So we will see you then. Thanks for listening.